mind.
But I'll send it to you, Theresa, and then you can put it wherever you want.
Oh, okay. Well, then all you need to do, everyone, is send me a WhatsApp or a Messenger message and tell me that you want a copy. And then when Anne-Marie sends it to me, she'll have to tell me how I've got to send it, because I won't know.
You just it's just a copy of a YouTube link. It's just a copy and paste job.
Oh, okay. You say just a copy and paste, Anne-Marie. You're talking to someone that still doesn't know how to put an attachment on an email.
Yeah, but look at you. You're on Zoom. You're fine.
Yeah, I can just about manage this.
Yeah, we're dinosaurs.
You got to bear in mind, this is what COVID did to me. It brought me screaming into the 21st century.
Let's get you on back in then.
Okay, we're just waiting for Jules now. I think Jules is the
Can
only
you hear
other
us,
person.
Theresa?
Yeah, we can.
Right, I've got to come out and then back in. All right.
Okie dokie.
Oh no, we're back. Stop. No.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But don't touch Brenda.
Didn't touch anything.
It's all right.
Don't panic, Mr. Mannering.
Yeah, I'm all right on my iPad, but this bloody laptop, I can't get on with it.
Well, you can record on the laptop, Brenda, but like you say, it's knowing how to download
I know
it.
I can, but I can't play it back.
Yeah.
Hey,
What you'll have to
Gordon,
do,
try.
Anne-Marie, is teach everyone how to play it back.
Yeah. Well, it does when you record on Zoom. After the meeting has ended, it produces this Zoom video, and there should be, well, it automatically saves in a Zoom folder in my documents. So, and then you double click on it and it plays, but it's quite a large file. So what I do is I just pop it onto my YouTube page, and then I save it that way, and I can share it. But don't worry, I can share it with everybody.
What's the quality like, Anne-Marie, of the recordings on Zoom?
Well, it's all right. I mean, it's just it's as we see you. It's fine.
And you do all know that you can click so that I am the big picture and you can have yourself as small, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't record anybody else. It just records the pinned. I pinned you.
Yeah.
So for data protection purposes, it doesn't record anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, we are going to do some new stuff today. I've been working today on some bits and pieces, and it is using the band and the little ball and the big ball and the fitness circle. So we're still using all the equipment. And we're going to start off with some mobilization with your big ball. So everyone go and grab your big ball. Okay, so we're going to start off nice and easy. Now, please remember, everyone, whenever you're doing something that is new, and I'm going to be reading off my notes here because you guys are my guinea pigs today. A lot of this is new. So when I'm teaching new stuff, you've got to take your time, okay? Because it is new and your body needs to feel where it needs to be, okay? So we're going to take it nice and slow. So I'm going to turn to the side and we're going to stand in what we call a sumo squat. So I'm going to just do this. You would normally stand like so. I'm going to take it wider and I'm going to turn my feet out slightly, okay? So it's a bit more of a wider stance than you would normally have, okay? And then you're going to hold the ball in front of you, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see it a bit better. Now, as I bend my knees, I'm going to lower my ball, and then I'm going to come up and I'm going to lift my ball. So I'm going really slow. So as I bend my knees, when I get to here, don't do this, okay? I've now lowered my upper body. I'm going to keep my upper body here. So I'm only going as down as far as I can go, keeping my spine long. Then I'm returning the ball into the chest and then reaching up above the head. So let's just do a few of those slow. So where can we get to in opening the legs wide? So I'm going to show you from the front now. So the ball comes down and then my legs open out to the side. So I'm going to lower my camera a bit more. So I'm giving you lots of different angles that you can see from. Okay, so here we are again. So my legs are going out to the side. It's like a plie. So those of you that have done ballet, it really is like a plie. I'm sending my knees out towards my toes. And watch as we go down here, everyone. As we sink down, don't get to here and then do that. Okay, that's me tucking my tailbone in between my legs. You need to keep the curve of the lumbar spine as you sink down. Okay, so this is the last one. So keeping the curve of the lumbar spine and then the arms up above the head. Good, okay. Now the next sequence we're going to do, I'll come back a bit further so you can see, is we're now going to rock side to side. So I just want you to keep in that sumo wrestler position, and you're rocking now from one side to the other. Now I've got my ball at the moment on my navel. Okay, so the ball is just resting on my navel and I'm gently rocking from one side to the other. Okay, and now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the ball again. So I'm going to take the ball out and in, out and in, and I'll show you from the side. So I'm reaching forward with my arms as I'm rocking side to side. Okay, so this is just all nice gentle hip mobility exercises again. Keeping the spine long. Careful not to tuck your tailbone in between your legs. Keep neutral. Okay. That's it. Reach the ball forward. Bring the ball in. Perfect. And relaxing there. Okay. Now from here, we're going to grab 12-inch ball. Grab your 12-inch ball. Okay. So what we're going to do with the ball is we're going to place, I'm going to bring my camera down so you can all see what we're going to do. Okay, so there's my ball. I'm going to place my foot on top of the ball. Okay, now we can do this with the big ball. And in the following weeks, we're going to be doing it with the big ball. But we use the 12-inch ball to start with to learn the pattern. Now I want everyone to place their hands onto their iliac crest. So rest your hands onto your iliac crest. And all I want you to do for me now is lengthen out of the leg you're standing on. Grow out of that leg. Now extend the leg, dorsiflex the foot, bend the knee, place the foot back on top of the ball. So that's all I'm doing at the moment. It's really simple. I'm lengthening up out of the leg that I'm standing on, and I'm merely moving the leg into extension. And when I extend that leg, there's another chance here to also do two things. One, to hyperextend. So those of you that know you fall out through the back of your leg, please don't hyperextend there. And also as you extend your leg, that you don't tuck your tailbone again in between your legs, and resting there. So we're going to switch over. So I'll show you just from the legs because that's all you need to see at the moment. So you've got your foot on the ball, your spine is long, your eye line is forward. You're going to extend the leg, dorsiflex the foot, bend the knee. So this is a really simple pattern at the moment. I say simple, but you can all feel how you're working just to stand on that one leg, growing out of that one leg, moving that leg, while the other one is registering the tripod of your foot and lengthening out of that standing leg. One more time. And relaxing there. Okay, now this is where it gets a bit more tricky. So I'm going to move my camera up again. Okay, so what we're going to do now is that we're going to move the ball again, but we're going to add some arm movement. Okay, now the first sequence is going to be the easy one, and then we're going to make it harder. So we've got both arms outstretched in front of you. Okay, now I want you to straighten the arm, straighten the leg on the ball, and then drop the same arm. So I'm on my right leg, so it's my right arm. Then as I bend my knee, I circle and bring the arm back in. So the arm and leg move together. Okay, I've got this real sense of rhythm. So as my leg straightens, my arm drops, circles, and the ball comes in. So I'm mobilizing my shoulder joint here while I'm moving my leg with the ball. Okay, eye line is forward, last one. And switching over. Okay, so again, arms in front. I'm going to extend the leg, circle and bring the ball back in. Now, the same rules apply. Those of you that know you have a little bit of hyperextension in the back of the knees, don't hang out there. And those of you that know you have a temptation to tuck your tailbone under, please keep your neutral spine. Maintain that for me. Okay, we've got one more. And relaxing there. Now we go back to the other leg again. Now this is the final one and this is the harder one. So not only now are you going to move your arm and you're going to move your leg, but we're going to move the head as well. Okay, and this is the much harder because this is proprioception. Now I'm going to take your proprioception away. So what I find really helps me with this is I find two spots. I have a spot in front of me and a spot to the right of me, and I look between those two spots. I don't register much else. Okay, here we go. So as I straighten my right leg and drop my right arm, I look over my right shoulder. I'm going to circle my arm and bring the ball back in and I face the front again. So as my arm drops, my head turns, I circle, bring the ball back in. Head turns as my arm drops, circle, bring the ball back in. Lengthen the leg without tucking the tailbone under. Keep the spine long. And we've got one more. And relax the arms down. So we switch to the other side. So again, we've got the foot on the ball. So this is all about proprioceptive feedback now. I'm taking it away by moving your head. So as I drop my left arm, I look over my left shoulder, I circle and bring the ball back in. So I haven't changed any of my body positions. I haven't changed the pattern of how I moved my arm and my leg. The only thing that I've changed is I'm moving my head now. So I'm looking over my left shoulder and then looking back in front of me. So I'm still lengthening out of the foot that I'm standing on. This is your last one, and relax it down. Good, okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use a little bit of that elastic recoil I was teaching you last week. And this is really nice for the feet. So what we're going to do to start with though, we're going to go down to the feet with your ball. So I just want everyone to go and grab your spiky ball, okay, or your tennis ball, whatever you've got. And we're just going to spend a couple of minutes here before we do the elastic recoil. So we're going to start off with the leg on the ball. Now it is a leg. I want you to completely relax that leg. So that's me sucking my leg into the joint. That's me relaxing my leg. Okay? So I want you to let your leg hang. Let the weight of your leg sink onto the ball. Now you're going to roller. Off you go. Okay? So you're rollering that ball back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we're making sure that when we're doing this, everyone, that you're not staying on the same spot for me. Okay? So you are really massaging that plantar fascia, your arch of your foot. So I'm going towards the heel and then to the ball of the foot. Okay? So we're just going to do that for a few more moments because I've got another one that we're doing. Now from there, place your heel down. So the heel is now down on the floor. We now go into our eversion and inversion. Eversion. Now, if you've ever sprained your ankle, okay, you might find that this feels really uncomfortable. But interestingly, when you do sprain your ankle, it's invariably an eversion sprain. Okay, and when we go over, that's what happens. Where my foot is now, that's what happens. You go over like that. And actually what happens is you get held here on the inside of the leg. So actually it generally is the inside that needs the releasing, not the outside, because the outside gets pulled to length. Now, Changing again, keep your heel on the floor. Now move the ball to your toes. So the ball now is at the base of your toes. I want you now to grip with your toes and suck your arch up away from the floor and then release. Grip with your toes, pull your arch up away from the floor and release. Now you'll feel as you're doing this, keep going, but you'll also feel your quad being more active in that leg as well. So I can feel as I grip with my toes and I suck up through my arch, I can feel the tension in the top of my thigh. Okay, we're going to do a couple more of these. Grip, lift, release. Grip, lift, release. One more time. Grip, lift, release. Now just come off that ball and I want you to register how that foot feels now compared to the other one. Just register. Can everyone feel how you're now can feel the arch in your foot?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So let's now do the same on the other side. So we're going to let the leg sink onto the ball. Okay, we're going to let the weight go down onto that ball and then we're going to roll that ball back and forth. So it's a nice, easy move. And we should be able to stand on one leg and achieve this. We shouldn't really need to have to hold a chair or anything in order to balance to do this. Okay, nice and easy there. Now, place the heel down. So we're on the widest part of the foot, and I'll turn this way so you can see better. And again, we go into that movement. Okay, nice and easy. So massaging those little bones, broadening the foot, releasing any tension if you've been wearing shoes that are a bit tight. Okay, now we're going to come back towards the toes. So I'm at the base of my toes now. I'm going to grip with my toes and I'm going to lift my arch and then I'm going to release. I'm going to grip with my toes, lift my arch, release. Grip with my toes, lift my arch, release. Grip with those toes, lift, release. Couple more. So do bear in mind, if you're really feeling this, if this is really quite uncomfortable, invariably there's stuff going on further up the chain, people, okay? So I'm just watching you, just one more time, grip with those toes, lift from the arch and release. Now take the foot off the ball and just register how both feet feel now. They should feel really lifted in the arch of your foot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do something which is that elastic recoil, you know, this move that I taught you last week where we bounce back. And we're going to do that through the feet because I've just massaged and released your plantar fascia. Let's really work on that. So bringing my camera down again, okay? So we're going to be standing like so. And all I want you to do for me is lift the heel, lift the heel, lift, 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 lift. That's all you're doing at the moment, okay? Now, obviously, this is slow, so this isn't the elastic recoil because this is slow. This is my muscles, okay? I'm working my muscles. Now, I'm going to start to speed it up. So I'm now bouncing off the pad of my heel, and I'm bouncing, bounce, 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 bounce. That's the elastic recoil, and I'm as light as I can be. So if you were on a floor that showed sound rather than a carpet floor, there shouldn't be much sound going on. Now slow it down again. So you can feel when you slow it down how different it feels. This is your muscles working. This is your muscles working. Now you slowly start to build up the speed. Let your arms swing to help to balance you. And bounce, 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 right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So that's your elastic recoil. And back to slow. Now this time, you can already feel how your heart rate's coming up. Now this time, we're going to do both heels. We're going to go up and down, up and down. Now, if you feel you need to put your hands against the wall or hands on the back of a chair to guide you, because this one is a bit more tricky balance-wise. So I'm going to slowly start to build that up. And now I'm bouncing. And I'm going to take that into a bounce. And I'm going to bounce slightly again, not making too much sound. Bounce, 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 bounce. And slowly slowing it down and coming back to the muscles. So there's the muscles working again, up and down. So my calves are working, along with my Achilles, along with that plantar fascia. Now I'm slowly going to start to build up the tempo until I bounce off my heels. Bounce, 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 and slow it down. Woo! Yeah. Okay. So you could all feel how your heart rate's really coming up here, and we're on the spot. So what we're going to do now is that elastic recoil, we're going to use it in some side bending. Okay. So we're going to start off with the knees soft. We're going to come nice and soft with the knees. And I want you to just slide your hands. So here's the muscles. Here's the muscles working to laterally flex me. Okay. Now I'm slowly going to start to increase my tempo. And as I do, I'm going to let my hand lift. Bounce, 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 bounce. So my hips are fixed. And I'm bouncing one side to the other. Now I'm going to slow it down again. So here's my muscles doing the work. And you should already feel that you're getting lower. I can feel now I'm getting further down the side of my leg. Now I'm slowly going to start to increase my tempo, fix those hips, and up comes the hand. And I bounce, 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 bounce. Are you breathing? Bounce. Bounce and slow it down. Woo. Good. And one more time, starting to increase that tempo. And bounce, 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 bounce. That elastic recoil, doing, doing, back to the center, back to the center. Hardly any effort here. And slow it down. Good job. So the final one we need to do to wake ourselves up is turning to the side. Now I know this makes some people giddy. So for that reason, we'll do it sitting on the big ball. So grab your big ball.
I haven't had dinner.
Okay. How's it feeling, Bren?
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah.
So fingertips on the shoulders. And we're going to start with the muscles. Now, if you'd rather do this in standing, if you don't get giddy, you get far further round if you're stood than if you're sitting. Okay, so it's your choice. I want you to look right, look left, look right, look left. So here's the muscles working. Now let's slowly start to speed it up. And remember again to breathe, breathe, breathe. And turn, 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 and slowing it down again. Muscles doing the rotation. Now slowly start to increase. Start to build up that tempo. Feel that snap back. Feel that elastic recoil. So there's hardly any effort here. You're just bouncing in and out of that stretch to the side. And slow it down. Woo. Okay, I'm really getting into this elastic recoil. I love it. It's you can really feel everything stretching and releasing as you're doing it. Now from here, we're going to take you now down onto the floor. So we've woken up just about everything now. And you could feel how your heart rate came up quite a bit doing that. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start off with the band lying on the floor. So head pads for your head, please, and pick up your band. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I know there are men in the class too. So we are going to have our band. Need my piece of paper with all my notes on it. It hasn't been raining here. I only normally do this when it's raining. Now, those of you that have worked on the reformer with me or worked on the reformer, this is very reformer based, okay? And you'll recognize some of the moves. So I'd like you to put your feet into the band. Now, first of all, how are you going to place your feet? I'm going to turn this way to show you. So I've got my heels together, you can see that, but my feet are separated. And that's what Joseph Pilates called P1. So P1 is heels touching, but feet separated, okay? So that's the first thing, there's your P1. Now you're gonna hold your band. Please observe how I hold it. You're gonna hold it so that your hand is fingers up towards the ceiling like so, not that way. So it's not coming out through your little finger, it's coming out through your thumb and your index finger, because we get a much nicer straight hand to wrist here, okay? So we're gonna lie ourselves down. Now, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the tummy and we're gonna lift the legs into tabletop, okay? Now your elbows, everyone, stay off the floor. They're gonna hover 2 inches off the floor, all right? I'd like everyone to take a breath in. Now on your exhale, reach the legs away, flatten the lower tummy, and inhale, return back in again. So I'm pushing out and in. Now my band is in between my legs, okay? So my knees open here, and then I squeeze my inner thighs together. The knees open, and then I squeeze my inner thighs together. Now, watch your P1 position as you're doing this, okay? Now, at the moment, we're staying lying down, we're not flexed up, okay? But we are going to add flexion as well. So this time, as you straighten your legs, raise your upper body. As they come in, lie back down. Lengthen the legs away and lift your upper body, lie down. So you're exhaling to come up, you're inhaling to lie down. Exhale to come up, inhale to lie down. 2 more. Exhale to come up, inhale to come down. Now, exhale, come up, stay lifted. So now staying in flexion, you can now see your feet. Your heels are together, your toes are separated, and you're moving your legs out and in that flexed position with your elbows hovering off the floor. This is your last one. Now, lower and lift the legs in P1. So it's the same move, but now the legs stay long. Now again, you can stay down. Here's my legs, lower and lift. You can stay lying down. You don't have to do this in flexion. This is your last one. Bend the knees and bring them down. Now we're going to change where the band is, but we're not going to change the routine. Place the band down at your heel now, both at your heel. So I've now got the band around my heels, and the band now is on the outside of my legs, and my elbows are still hovering off the floor. So we're going to go back to the first move, push out in dorsiflexion and return. So those of you that do reformer, this is, imagine you're lying on the reformer and your feet are on the foot bar and you're pushing yourself out on the carriage. So those same instructions apply. So those of you that don't reformer, as you extend your legs, you narrow your sit bones and you squeeze your inner thighs together. And as you bring your legs back into tabletop, you release your glutes. Now, let's add, as we extend the legs, we raise the upper body. And then we lie down again. As we straighten the legs, we raise the upper body and lie back down again. Stay connected through your lower tummy as you move your legs. So you're raising your upper body as your legs extend. Now this time, stay lifted up, stay lifted. Only the legs are moving. Exhale to reach out, inhale to go in. Now really feel you're pushing your heels into that band. Drive those heels into that band. 2 more times. Now staying out there, lower and lift the legs. Exhale as they go down. Inhale as they come up. Squeeze as they lower, relax as they lift. Squeeze as they lower, relax as they lift. One more. And bring the legs back to tabletop and relax the legs down.
Oh,
So that's quite reformer-like, isn't it?
yeah.
So what we're going to do now is, what did I have next? Band, oh yeah, this was lovely. I love this one, the band and the ball. Right, okay. So I want everyone now to go and get your 12-inch ball. Okay. And we're going to start off with the ball behind us, and we're going to find neutral. Okay, now let me just get my camera so that you can see me better. That's better. Okay, so with our 12-inch ball, now you can do this, and we will be making changes to the size of the ball. You work much harder with a smaller ball, 7-inch ball, than you do with the 12-inch ball. So over the course of the weeks, we'll try it with a smaller ball, and you'll feel for yourself how big a difference it is. So it's much nicer with the bigger ball, particularly when we go into extension. So we're going to place the hands around the back of the head, link the fingers, bring the feet in line with the sit bones, and find your sacrum. Make sure that you're resting nice and heavy on that sacrum with your neutral spine. Now, all I want you to do to start with is just on your exhale, flex, and your inhale, release. So you're lifting gently from the ball. Now, what you're not doing is pulling on your head to do this. So how do we get into flexion effectively? You think of taking your breastbone towards your pubic bone, okay? Breastbone to pubic bone. Your pubic bone doesn't change. You're flexing up because you're taking here to there. One more time. Use your exhale to lift, your inhale to return. Now we're going to change this. We're going to take this from extension to flexion. And this is a much bigger move. Now make sure that ball is around the mid back. It's not in the lower back, okay? We will be doing that and you'll feel the difference later. So now lean back as far as you can comfortably lean with the weight of your head in your hands. Bring the arms in, nod the head, flex. So you're going inhale into extension, exhale into flexion. So moving through the two big ranges here around that ball, that soft ball. So you shouldn't be feeling at all that the ball is moving because it's you that's moving, okay? So you've always got a little bit of weight on the ball so that you're always returning to the same spot on that ball, okay? And you've got one more from extension into flexion and back to neutral. So our final one now is we're going to add rotation. So we're going to rotate towards the leg, okay? But we're still going to go from extension into flexion, adding rotation, okay? So here we go, hands back behind the head. So we're going to inhale to lean back. We're going to come up and turn, and then we return back over the ball. We come up, turn, back over the ball. And lift, rotate, back over the ball. Exhale up and turn, and inhale over the ball. So again, the ball is staying where it is. It's you that's lifting and moving through. Last one, and stretch back. Give those abs a big stretch. And you can straighten your legs as well. That gives it an even bigger stretch. Push your rib cage towards the ceiling. Oh, lovely. Okay, now from here, we're going to also need our band with that ball. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put the ball back in that same spot. We're going to put the band around the width of your right foot. Okay, and you're going to place the end of the band you're going to hold it in one hand. So we're going to hold the band, both of them in the left hand because it's around the right foot. Okay, so we're leaning back on the band. Now, what did I have us doing? Oh yeah, here we go. So we've got this leg in tabletop, okay, and the hand behind the head. Now we're going to stretch that leg out and in the band. So just start off with that for me. Okay. So nice and easy. This arm isn't moving, okay, that's holding the tension in this band while that leg moves out and in. So that's nice and easy, okay? Now your left knee is bent and your foot is flat on the floor, okay? Now we're gonna add on to that move. So I'm gonna lean back and then I'm gonna flex up. I'm gonna lean back and I'm gonna flex up. So I'm gonna move with my leg, okay? Now, hold it still. We're going to do the opposite now. We're going to do the opposite. So as my leg leans away, I lean away. As it comes in, I come in. So now the leg moves away and in. So I'm now going to do a crunch. I'm crunching up to meet that leg. Breathe out. Breathe out. Breathe out. One more. Breathe out. And relax. Now, we're going to add on again. We're going to rotate. As we come up, we're going to rotate towards that leg as well. So the leg reaches away, I reach away. As it comes in, I'm going to turn to look over that knee. So I'm turning in. So I'm turning in. Turning in. Two more. Watch that left leg stays nice and still. Ooh, and relax. Switch the feet over. So, hand behind the head. You got the band in the right hand, left hand behind the head. So now it's the left leg's turn. You're just going to push out and in. Out and in. So the right arm is nice and still. Okay, and the only movement at the moment is coming from that left leg. Now watch that left leg when it's moving out and in, everyone. Make sure that it's tracking in line with your hip, okay? It's not being sucked into the midline. Now let's add to that. So we'll do the same. We lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. One more. Now let's add rotation. Let's keep going. Come up and turn in and out. Come up and turn in and out. Up and out. Up and out. Keep that right arm nice and still. Make sure the weight of your head is in your hands. Last one. And relax. Good. Okay, so it's time to go on to our tummies now. We're going to do the opposing muscle groups. So you need your small ball, your 7-inch ball, not your 12-inch. So we're going to go on to our tummies. Okay. And in this move, we're going to move the ball around us. Now, those of you that would normally have a towel or a pillow across your ASIS, if you've got any low back problems, then pop something there to stop you falling into your lumbar spine. And if you've got a prominent pubic bone, then obviously fold something and put it there to give you a bit of support. Now, the move is that we're actually going to move our ball around us, okay? And again, we're going to take it slow so we can feel the movement pattern as always. We don't want to rush anything. So we're going to hold the ball, hand either side, and just hold your arms outstretched in front of you. And now point your nose down at the floor. Now let's just register the legs. The legs are parallel. They're not laterally rotated. And the legs are nice and long behind me. And you can choose whether you have your legs together or separated. Generally more comfortable with the legs slightly separated. Now I want you to use an inhale to lift your arms up off the floor with the ball, and exhale, place it down. Inhale, lift the ball up, and exhale, place the ball down. 2 more. Inhale, pick the ball up, exhale, place the ball down. 1 more. Inhale, pick the ball up, and exhale, place the ball down. So that's the start of the move. Now we're going to move the arms with the ball to behind you. Here we go. Inhale, lift the ball. On your exhale, bring both arms round behind you and switch hands. Bring the arms back in front and touch the floor. Lift the arms, go back the other way behind you. Switch hands, bring the ball forward, place it down. So you inhale to pick up, exhale, they switch around behind you and you place the ball down. Inhale, lift the arms up, exhale, come round, switch and place the hands down. 2 more. Inhale, so you switch right to left and then left to right. Last one, lift up, reach back, switch hands and place the arms down. Sit back into your shower stretch. Make yourself nice and small with your little ball. Pop your little ball there onto your lap and fold forward over your ball. In this position, you're rocking back toward your heels, tucking your tailbone in between your legs. And then lean forward, actually push your rib cage down into that ball, tip your head back, smile with your sit bones. And 1 more time, sit back, draw your ribs away from the ball, tuck your tailbone down in between your legs, and then lean forward. Stick your bottom up to the ceiling as you tip your head back, and then roll up with your ball. Okay, so now the one we're going to do is going to be some sideways stuff, okay? Now for this, you need your big ball. We need the big ball again. Okay. So for this one, we're going to, you have sort of done this one with me at some point or another. So this one isn't a particularly new move. So we're going to place the ball here at the hip. All right, that's the key here to start with, is the ball touches your hip. Then you lean, then you extend that top leg and you go down onto your forearm. Okay, so I'm going to show you again if you weren't sure. The ball touches my hip, I lean, I extend the top leg and I lower to my forearm. So I've got my forearm on the ball and my hip on the ball. Now your hand goes to your forehead. Okay, you're going to rest your hand on your forehead. So from here, connect now this shoulder that you're leaning on, lift the top leg up and place it down. Lift it up and place it down. So we're working here through those muscles to lower and lift that leg. And I'm sure you can all feel that.
Yeah.
Keep those tummy muscles nice and tight. 1 more. And bend the knee in and come back up. That's your first sequence. We haven't finished. So that was just getting you to fire up here, because we're going to be working there now, moving the leg in a different way. So again, I lean. So remember the ball's at the hip, lean, go down to the forearm, straighten the top leg, hand at the forehead. Now this is your side leg kick. Up comes the leg. 2 kicks forward, 1 sweep back. Dorsiflex the foot, point your toe. Dorsiflex the foot, point. Now, when you're doing this, there is no bend in your knee. So I'm going to show you from the side now. So remember, there is absolutely no bending in the leg. Kick, kick, sweep. Kick, kick, sweep. Kick, kick, sweep. Last one, everyone. And relax that leg down. Now to give that a quick stretch, bring the ball in front of you. Stick your backside out and then take your hips to one side. Give that all a nice stretch. And then we want to stretch the other side. Stick your backside out the other side. And come back up. Right, other side. So the ball is at the hip. We're going to lean into the ball, straighten the top leg, come down onto the forearm, bring the hand to the forehead. Now connect with the shoulder that you're leaning on. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. So it's a very small move. Remember to breathe. Last one. Relax that leg down, come back up, just give it a quick wiggle. So your next sequence, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what the leg's doing. Lean into the ball, down to the forearm, straighten the top leg, hand at the forehead, up comes the leg. 2 small kicks, 1 sweep. Kick, kick, sweep. Kick, kick, sweep. Kick, kick, sweep. Try and keep the leg as high as you can. Remember to move through that foot. Yeah. I know, Bryn. It's the killer.
It's hurting where I hurt. So.
Ooh, some of those legs are getting a bit low. Lift, 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 lift. Last one. And relax. Sit back. Again, stick so your arms go one way and your hips go the other. And then switch sides. Hips go one way, upper body goes the other. And switch sides. Hips and backside, push. And switch sides. Hips and backside. Oh, lovely. And back round. Okay, now we're going to use the big ball now for the bridge. But this again is very much one that we would do on a reformer again, where we move in bridge using the reformer. And because we don't have a reformer, we're going to use the ball. So it simulates the same move. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate to you. So you're going to have your feet on the ball. You're going to come up to bridge. You're going to reach your legs out without your hips dropping. Bring the ball back in. Place your glutes down. Okay, so feet are in the front wall of the ball and you're in neutral. This isn't a roll up and a roll down, everyone. You're neutral spine. So you're going to rest your arms down on the floor, and I like to flip the palms up towards the ceiling so you're not pushing down into your arms too much, not overworking those triceps. So we're going to narrow the sit bones to lift. Now keep narrowing the sit bones as you lengthen both legs all the way out and dorsiflex. Bend your knees, return back, and float your bottom back to the floor. So you come up to bridge, you lengthen both legs, dorsiflex, bend the knees, your hips haven't got any lower or higher, float to the floor. Okay, so up to bridge first, then lengthen those legs away, dorsiflex the feet, bend those knees and return the ball. Then place your bottom down. 2 more. Up come your hips. Out go your legs. Dorsiflex those feet. Bend those knees. Bring the ball back in. Place your bottom down. 1 more time. Up come the hips. Careful not to be tucking your tailbone in between your legs. Extend your legs. Those of you that hyperextend, be careful you don't fall into the backs of your knees. Bending your knees to bring your ball back in and return your bottom to the floor. Good job. Well done. Now, moving on, we're going back now into the band. The fitness circle. Grab your circle. Okay, and again, we did similar move over the last couple of weeks with our head in the circle, and that's what we're going to do again today. Put your head inside the circle, like so. Lie yourself down. Place your hands wherever they feel comfortable on your circle, okay? And you're now going to nod your head and lift both legs into tabletop and then both legs to the ceiling. There they are, you're looking at them. Put your hands wherever you feel is comfortable for you. I'm going to flex up. So I've got my head, lovely support in that circle. And we're going to go into our scissors. But first of all, everyone laterally rotate. Turn the legs slightly out. Take a breath in and so it's 2 pulses with a lovely flat tummy, reaching through those toes, keeping your head, neck and shoulders up in your circle. Last one, bring those legs together, bend the knees, roll down. Take the feet back to the floor and head out of the circle. Now pop your circle to one side and we're going to go now to our little ball. We're going to go to our 7-inch ball. And we're going to lie on our sides. Now, I'd like you to do this without any pillows because we're going to try and come up a little bit into a side lift. So if you've got pillows, they're going to really not help you to lift up. So what we're going to do is you're going to lie down with your arm outstretched or folded. You can fold that arm to support the head. Now your ball is going to go right down in between your ankles, okay? I'm going to move my camera again because it's more important you see what's going on down the other end. Oh, it's Trevor. Soundo. So, you can all see the ball down here in between my ankles. And all I'd like you to do for me is place this arm either up here on your top leg or on your front of your navel. Okay, you choose where you feel most stable. And then I want you to lengthen this top hip away. So you've got your little mouse hole. Okay, now everyone squeeze the ball, release. Squeeze the ball, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. One more, squeeze, release. Now, lift the legs, place them down. Lift the legs, place them down. Now, as you're doing this, everyone, what you've got to be really aware of is that you're not rolling backwards on your glutes to lift your legs. So you are on the side seams of your trousers and your t-shirts all of the time. Okay, so you're lifting and lowering. Now, we're going to link those 2 moves together. I want you to squeeze and then lift. Squeeze, release, lift. Squeeze, release, lift. Squeeze, release, lift. 2 more. Squeeze, release, lift. 1 more. Squeeze, release, lift. Now I'm going to move my camera. Stay where you are, coming to my upper body now. So you've got the squeeze and lift. Now we're going to change what we do with the upper body. So we are going to take the arms long now. Now, let's now everyone put your hand here in front of you. So the lifting of the legs with that little ball isn't going to change. That's all you're going to be doing. But you're also going to use this hand and this underneath arm to lift up, okay? So you're going to lift, lower. Lift, so my legs are lifting with my ball. I haven't changed that, but I'm now sucking up from the underneath of this side of me. I'm pushing my palm of my hand down and pulling up through my armpit to lift. This hand in front is just guiding me, okay? Because you should be able to do it without that arm. That's just guiding you, okay? And last one, relaxing there. Okay, switching to the other side. So the ball is in between the ankles. You're lying down. You can fold your arm for the first sequence, and your hand is either here on your hip or it's here in front of you. And again, you're lengthening this top hip towards the foot. And you're going to squeeze your ball, and then you're going to release it. Squeeze your ball, release it. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. One more. Squeeze, release. Now, here's the tougher one. You're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. And the importance on the lifting isn't just that you don't roll backwards or forwards. You need to lengthen. So I want you all to imagine I'm actually holding your ankles and I'm pulling your legs. And that stops you collapsing in that underneath waist. One more time. Now let's add the two together. So I'm going to squeeze the ball, release, lift, and lower. Squeeze, release, lift, and lower. Squeeze, release, lift, and lower. Squeeze, release, lift, and lower. One more. Squeeze, release, lift, and lower. Now straighten that top arm. So I'm going to come round on a bit of an angle now because I want you to see it more from an angle. Okay, so there's my arm outstretched. So your hand is either here in front of you or on your hip. But know if it's on the hip, you mustn't corkscrew in your body. You've got to stay on those side seams. So I definitely keep the hand here just to guide you. So I'm going to lift the legs, pull up, and then I slide back down. And I lift the legs, pull up, and I slide back down. So this hand is just guiding me that I'm lifting on the side. I'm not rolling back onto my glute. I'm maintaining this side length. So this is very much my lateral movers working like mad, lifting my legs and raising me up. Lovely. One more time. And relaxing there. Good job. Okay, now the next one we're going to do is back to using the ball on our tummies. So grab your ball, one more on our tummies. Okay. So this is going to be really a recruitment now of your glutes and your hamstrings, because I'm going to get you to flutter your legs behind you. And when I do the little adds or add-ons to this, you can remain in whatever feels comfortable for you. You don't have to obviously keep adding on the different layers. So let's start off with our arms outstretched, hands either side of the ball, like so. And we're going to actually put, even though my hands are either side of the ball, they're towards the top, because I'm going to lightly push down on the ball. And that action of pushing down on the ball will activate your lats. You'll feel that. So everyone, let's just do that. Head pointing down at the floor. Legs are laterally rotated now, everyone. They are not parallel. So my right knee is turning out to the right and my left knee is turning out to the left. So I want you to push down into the ball and then release. Now feel as you push into the ball, you can feel your body starts to lift up a little bit higher through your chest. And you can also feel the activation right down into your armpits. So let's add on to that. As you push on the ball, lift both your legs. Now keep the legs lifted. Start fluttering. Flutter your legs. Right then left, right then left, right then left, right then left. Now regular breathing. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you can lift the ball, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, lower it, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you lift, 2, 3, 4, 5? Can you lower, 2, 3, 4, 5? Can you lift, 2, 3, 4, 5? Can you lower, 2, 3, 4, 5? Can you lift, 2, 3, 4, 5? Can you lower, 2, 3, 4, 5? Can you lift, 2, 3, 4, 5? Lower and hold and relax down. Woo. Sit back into the shower stretch again. Now the shower stretch we're going to do without the little ball. You're going to open your legs. It's a bit of a hip stretch. Sink down to your heels. Reach your arms out in front of you. Okay? Now I want you to move your right arm, then your left. Now, as you move your arms, let your rib cage move with that arm. So your ribs move left, your ribs move right. They move. So you're bending laterally with the reaching arms. Now, think of a cat. I want you to all have talons at the ends of your fingers. Push your talons into the floor and suck your armpits in, and then release. Talons into the floor and release. As you push your talons down, suck your arms into their sockets, release. One more time, talons and arms sucking in, release. And roll up through your spine, all the way back up. Okay, now from here, go and grab your big balls again. We're going to finish with a roll down. So, big ball and your little ball. So, pop your little ball on your laps. Lift your chest up over your ball and hang forward over your ball.
Sorry, can you? I'm lost.
Oh, we're sat on the ball, Joe.
Oh, we're sat on
Big
the
ball. Yeah. And you're just flexing over your little ball that's on your lap. Now, everyone breathe. Just allow your spine to lengthen and to open. Breathe. Now, start with that lower tummy. Start to roll back up through your spine. Think of placing one bone at a time as you roll all the way up. And that head returns back up on top of your shoulders. Yay! Well done. How was that, everyone?
Well, you nearly killed us, eh?
Yes, that's tough.
Tough.
Bit of a
Good.
contrast to last week.
Yes. Good, but tough.
Well, that class last week, I am going to do one a month because everyone loved it so much.
Yeah. No,